Today we're diving into the magic of communication. Imagine speaking with confidence, captivating your listeners and leaving impact on them. Today I have for you 7 mind-blowing tips that are inspired by NLP, and they'll transform the way you connect with people and the way you express yourself. We'll uncover secrets that'll make you a pro at talking to people and getting your message across. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. First things first, get comfortable with discomfort. And I know you've heard this one 1,000 times, but bear with me for a second. Growth happens when you get out of your comfort zone. So you know that sensation when you're about to talk to people and you feel this weird sensation in your stomach and your head feels like it's about to explode. At least that's what it's like to me. But this feeling is discomfort, and it is where your transformation begins. Pushing past the discomfort is where you build resilience, and trust me, that is an absolute superpower. Think of it this way: every time you're going through this discomfort, you're slowly getting used to it. This stress is building up your resilience. Last year I met the CEO of my company, which came to do basically a speech in front of everybody, and then we had like a little Q&A session, we had a meet and greet, and I had the chance to be the first one that stepped up, literally looked at fear in the eyes, and I was like, I am going to be the first one to speak and ask my question. And while it wasn't really a question that mattered a lot, it was kind of what broke the silence into the room and kind of what broke the awkwardness. And I remember everyone after that coming up to me and saying, "Congrats, girl, because you were the first one to break the ice and to make the room feel a lot more comfortable." So next time you feel crocodiles in your stomach, just remember that that is you leveling up and you building new skills, and it should indeed feel uncomfortable. My next point is to be authentic. All of the speakers that you like to watch and you like to listen to, they're not like anyone else. They're captivating in their own unique way. They are unapologetically themselves because authenticity is magnetic. When you're genuine, people can sense this. They sense the realness in your words, and that creates an amazing bond. You have to learn to be unapologetically you. Your flaws, your awkwardness, all of this is part of your uniqueness, and you shouldn't be afraid to be that. Even you, the people that are so shy that you can't even look at people in the eyes, you can absolutely embrace this because people are not going to judge you for it. It is a part of you, and when you are yourself, you're also giving other people permission to act as they are. Now listen, that's it. That's the advice. We seem to think that communication is just about what we say and how we're going to say it. And a lot of times, we kind of fail to realize that we also need to listen to the other person. Otherwise, it's not a conversation, it's a monologue, especially when things get more heated. How many times have we gotten into an argument and the other person keeps screaming and you keep screaming and nobody hears what the other person wants to say or what their point of view is? You cannot have effective communication if you're not listening to each other. And a really important one is to not interrupt other people. Listen, it is annoying as hell, and we all know that one person that will interrupt you mid-sentence, and it's so annoying. It's a sign of disrespect, and no one wants to be disrespected. Everyone wants to be heard. So do not interrupt people. If you want to speak so much and you want to have that monologue so much, then create a YouTube channel, and don't ask me though, because I wouldn't know what that is like. The point is though, that the person who listens better is the one who holds the power in the conversation, because only then, only when you listen, can you process what the other person said and can you respond accordingly. Let's talk about your body language. The people who jump from one thought to another and then they fidget with something, and then because their thoughts all over the place, you can't get a grip on what they're trying to say, now you're confused and it makes the situation even weirder. Stop it. Stop fidgeting. I know people who are absolute geniuses, and I cannot have one single productive conversation with them because their thoughts are so chaotic and they cannot stick with one thing at a time. They do not know what being still is. Conversation is all about talking and listening and doing things with intention. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, maintain eye contact and stand still. And for the people who feel uncomfortable holding eye contact, I know that it is difficult, but you need to try one little bit at a time. Look at the person. If you feel uncomfortable, look away, then look back at them. Stand still and stay focused on the conversation. Remember that body language is not just about how other people perceive you, but it is also about how you feel, because it affects so much. While we're on the topic of body language, have you ever noticed that when you're talking to someone and the conversation is really engaging, you're kind of mirroring and kind of doing the same gestures, maybe even following the same pace of speech? NLP introduces this concept as mirroring, and mirroring creates a sense of connection that you can absolutely feel even without saying a word. It's like the secret handshake of effective communicators. So if you're talking to someone and you want the conversation to kind of go a little bit easier and a little bit more flowy, then try imitating their body language. My next tip is to share your experiences and share your feelings. As I'm talking to you here, I'm also giving you examples of things that have happened to me, ways that I've felt while I've talked to other people, and this creates a connection between us. Sharing stories is a great way to bond with the people around you, and it also invites the people to think, have I had a similar experience as this person, or have I ever felt this way? And they also open up and share their own personal stories. And we all know that when you share personal stories, you connect to that person. Of course, there's also the barrier of don't overshare, because there are some things that should stay personal, but be open to expressing yourself and telling others how you feel. Lastly, let's talk about empathy. Yes, you have to be confident. Yes, you have to speak with intention, this and that. Okay, but what about understanding each other? What's the point of the conversation if you're not being empathetic to each other and respecting and understanding each other? Because something that might not be that big of a deal to you is a big of a deal for another person. A recent example from literally today: I work in a mostly male environment, and when guys get too comfortable together, they can make jokes that are a little bit too rude for girls, but obviously at some point the glass is going to overflow and things are just going to come out. And they don't necessarily agree with me, and that's okay. And we have to respect each other's boundaries and acknowledge and understand each other's feelings. You have to know when and where to stop and be respectful of other people's feelings. Always remember that we do not hold the absolute truth, so be understanding towards other people. Alright, with these 7 tips, I am absolutely sure that you're going to feel much more confident and you're going to see communication as not something scary, but something fun and nice to look forward to. If you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you as always in the next one. Bye bye!